So recently, we just received the New Balance 940, I think V4, and its predecessor was the New Balance 940, I believe V3. There are some slight differences, as you can see. I think the new 940 looks a little bit more, has a little more pizzazz, looks a little bit more fashionable. But the other thing that they've changed is the heel to toe drop, unloaded heel to toe drop. The predecessor was 10 millimeters, and the new one is 12 millimeters. So if we take a look at the predecessor on our calculator here, it had a shoe stability of 73.8, so that put it into the high stability realm. So what we're going to do is we're going to test the new shoe, and we're going to compare the structural parameters of both and see how much of a change was made. So let's start with the weight of the new shoe. So the new shoe is 12.2 ounces, and that's just a little heavier than the previous one, which was at 12 ounces. So we'll go ahead and test it on all the structural parameters, and we'll see what the difference is. Measure the midfoot stability of the shoe, and what we're going to do again is we're going to twist it 15 degrees. We measure the resistance in inch pounds. The higher the inch pounds, the more midfoot stability. The less inch pounds, the less midfoot stability. So let's go ahead with that. All right, so we'll bring it up here. And we have about 64 inch pounds. So let's put that into our calculator. And so that shows that the new 940 has about 8.57% less midfoot stability than the previous model. So let's go to the rear foot stability. And here we're going to measure how firm it is in the rear foot of the midsole just under this block. So we'll compress it 100 pounds, and that will measure in millimeters what it took to get to that 100 pounds. The more it took to get to that 100 pounds, the less stable or the less firm, the less it takes to get to that 100 pounds, the more stable it is in the rear foot. So let's go ahead with that right now. And it took 5.82 millimeters. So let's place that into our calculator. Okay, so for hindfoot stability, the new shoe has about 1.85% more rear foot stability than the previous shoe, or the predecessor to the shoe. So now let's measure the rebound or the energy return in the shoe. What we will do is we'll compress this to 100 pounds, release this. This calcaneal block will fly up, and that measures the energy in millimeters. So let's go ahead with that. And this has 9.9 millimeters of energy return. So we'll place that here. So as far as the rebound index, the new shoe has about minus 22% less than the predecessor. So if we take a look at the shoes as a whole, really the overall shoe stability index is only 4.43%. So that's pretty good quality control in their manufacturing. So if we take a look at the new shoe, it's at 70.5, so that will be in the high stability ranking. So who would we recommend that shoe for? We would recommend that shoe for someone who's of heavy stature, that's a supinator, and a moderate to possibly severe pronator. One nice thing about this is because the shoe has 12 millimeter unloaded heel to toe drop compared to 10 of the previous, you have much more vertical support in this new shoe. So the overall vertical support is increased by 51.84%. And that is really good for heavier individuals. So that's the difference in the shoe. There's very little difference. Where the big difference is in the vertical support. There's much more vertical support, so the shoe will be much more forgiving on those who have issues in the posterior calf complex, like calf pain, Achilles tendonitis, plantar fasciitis, or heel pain. So anyway, that's the shoe.